Phew. Phew. I went back and I last night 9 o'clock at night I got on the old assault bike and at 1.5 time watched some of our old podcast a year ago. God, what an inspiration you are! You're
Oh,
killing.
wow.
Yeah, you are killing it, dude. You
I'm
are
killing it.
absolutely. I think you're killing it. You're 28 months into your practice, a practice that you developed on your own.
Yeah. So the walking on my hands every single day, that practice today it's like 870.
All
So
fours practice is what you call it, right? All fours still.
yeah. So that's how it kind of started, was specifically with bear crawl, but since the practice has evolved to more calisthenics, breakdancing, including stuff from my jujitsu practice, some of the stuff that doesn't include being on all fours, now it's just being on my hands. So at some point throughout the day, I'm going to try to accumulate a certain amount of time on my hands. And that's been true since the very beginning. It's just the thing that's also remained true up through day 870.
The account that you have a XP Movement account, and then you have the annual Nathaniel account, and those are the two on Instagram. And then I don't do TikTok, but I'd forgotten how popular you are on TikTok. I'm guessing you crossed over 1 million.
Yeah, we got over 1 million on TikTok. I wanted to have XP Movement actually be my handle on Instagram as well, but right after the first video went viral, somebody snagged that name up, and I made a commitment to myself that I'm not gonna like pay anybody for that name, so they get that, but it's got 0 followers and 0 posts.
Yeah, that's interesting. Someone snagged my Instagram account too. I had the real.
Oh,
I
really?
had it was the Sevan Podcast was taken right away as soon as I started, and so we had to switch to the real Sevan Podcast. It's kind of annoying.
Yeah, that is annoying. That feels like my intellectual property.
Right, or just like, hey, it's a dickhead move. You're not even using it.
Yeah, you jerk.
Yeah. Do you know who it is?
No, it's just some faceless internet person.
And you'd be willing to do 5 3-minute rounds of jiu-jitsu against them to get it back?
I would do that with a lot of people. I think that's actually where my career is heading, is towards the influencer fight game.
Tell me, serious. So are you telling me, let's go back just a little bit more. So you have 870 days of a practice you've developed. Do you know who John Hackman is?
No.
He was Chuck Liddell's coach,
Oh.
and he was Glover Teixeira's coach. You know who those two guys are, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So John Hackleman's based out of San Luis Obispo, California, and he's been on the show. And he trained in Hawaii with a guy who had developed his own martial arts, and he was also a collector for this guy. So basically, loan shark guy. You know what I mean? He was a thug for this guy, and he also took martial arts from this guy. Anyway, and this guy had developed his own martial arts, and Hackleman became a 10th degree black belt in this self-developed martial art. Then he came to San Luis Obispo, California, and developed another martial arts that he then mastered, and his students gave him a 10th degree black belt in that. How he got Chuck Liddell as his first fighter is another dojo said, hey, your shit stinks. And so he goes, okay, I'll come over to your dojo and we'll settle it. And the guy goes, fine. So he goes over there to that dojo in San Luis Obispo, California. And the guy says, hey, my back's hurt. The sensei says that, but you can fight one of my students. And guess who the student was? Chuck Liddell. So he beats up Chuck Liddell, and Chuck Liddell follows him out into the parking lot and goes, hey, I want to train with you. And he ends up turning Chuck Liddell into a world champion. And then now he's also Glover Teixeira's coach, which is crazy, right? Glover Teixeira, what he's done is one of the most remarkable things ever.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I mean, okay. That's awesome.
So when I hear all that, and I'm like, hey, this is what Nathaniel's doing. It's not a martial art, but it is a form of training that you have completely and wholeheartedly stepped out onto your own and started doing. You're developing a practice. I mean, do you know anyone else who's doing what you're doing?
So yes and no. Okay. I think so. Yes, in the fact that like all the movements that I do are things that are totally within the normal realm of the fitness community and what people use: bear crawls, handstands, push-ups. Like, people do these things all the time. I think what I'm doing that I guess is a little bit unique is just the perspective of how I see organizing these things and how to approach when and where they happen. So that way, most of it is integrated into my daily lifestyle and not into like set aside sessions that make up most of my training. And that's actually what kind of the main point of my walking on my hands thing was I'm trying to accumulate more time doing this kind of normal thing. Like you would set aside time to do bear crawl at like a gym. A lot of people would. I'm just doing that. I'm just doing it in a way where I'm going to be able to accumulate all of that time all at once. And then actually now throughout the day, I usually will be able to kind of break that up and accumulate it. But the thing that's just different is just the way that I approach integrating my training into my day. I'm taking something that basically like my walking on my hands thing. That's just one aspect of my training. I'm going to make that an entire practice, but I do that with multiple things too. I don't know if you saw, but I did a hanging series not that long ago too.
Are you still doing the hanging series? Is that still, by still doing it, are you hanging every day still?
Every single day. Yeah. What is it? Day 225 of hanging today.
I want to go back. Can you give me some examples of integrating? Let's say you need to go to the store 3 blocks from your house and pick up a carton of milk. Will you go there will you bear crawl there?
No.
Okay.
No.
So not integrated like that.
No. So it's actually, it's the point of it. And this is a concept I've spoken about before, but it's, I call it free XP or free training. It's basically, the concept is I'm going to acknowledge all of my goals, everything that I want to be able to do, or the things I'd like to be able to fit in and work on. And I'm going to audit my entire day. Right. And then I'm just going to look for places to swap out things that I'm already doing with things that are more aligned with my goal. So walking to the store on all fours, or in a bear crawl, that's going way out of my way. Right. But if let's say I'm transitioning from standing to the floor, and then I do that by putting my hands on the floor and then lifting my legs up and doing like a little handstand. That's what I would call free training. I didn't really set aside any additional time to make that transition, but I just fit it in. And then those accumulate very quickly throughout the day if you're just constantly looking for them. I guess if I was like going to go from like the couch to the fridge, I could do that, but it's just at this point really easy to find kind of normal ways to integrate it that I don't need to really go out of my way. For example, being on my hands doesn't necessarily mean being in a bear crawl or even in a handstand. I like to grade things down to like the absolute lightest version of them. So it might just be like in the morning while I'm brushing my teeth, I'm leaning on the wall at a steep angle with one hand. So that way I'm accumulating an extra 2 minutes on that hand before I even start my day. And then I can do the same thing with the other hand while I'm having a conversation, waiting for my kettle to heat up in the morning, and just little things like that. You'd be surprised. But if you set aside, let's say, an hour to go to the gym, and a portion of that was I'm going to spend some time on my hands now because I want to accumulate some time there, so to get better at either the skill or to build tolerance there. The time that you're setting aside at the gym, it pales in comparison to what I can set aside in small 1 to 2 minute increments, where I'm just replacing an activity that I would already be doing. So again, I'm not setting aside any additional time.
Would you ever, the thing that I think of right away is, 2 miles from my house is a Toyota dealership. And every time my checkup light goes on, I get excited because I know I'm going to drive there and I'm going to walk home and it's going to give me 2 hours to listen to an audiobook. Right.
Yeah.
So I can be like, oh, that's sweet. I'm going to get just 2 hours of uninterrupted listening. Right. Is there anything that you do, like, you would never watch TV unless let's say you were watching something that you were interested in. Let's say you were watching some jiu-jitsu matches.
Yeah.
For people who don't know, you're a brown belt in Brazilian jiu-jitsu.
Mm-hmm.
And how long have you been practicing?
Probably about 11 years now.
Okay, so you're a real competent brown belt.
Arguably.
Okay, you are. Yeah, I watched a bunch of footage. I mean, as competent as someone as I could say is competent. Would you ever watch TV or be watching any computer stuff while you're also not practicing? Like, would you make sure that you're up on a bar like a parrot if you were watching TV?
So I do a lot of that. Because it's so easy, right? I think sitting is one of the great untapped pools for developing strength, flexibility, because we do it so often and it's such a passive thing. Hell yeah, you're doing it right now. But even beyond that, and here's how I like to think about it. This is actually my perspective that I'm trying to like kind of push on people, just so that way it's easier for people to understand. Is that when you're sitting, you're already training, right? Like we're already training right now. The way that we're sitting is just training us to build tolerance to these ranges of motion, to these positions, right? So if you sit at a desk in a comfortable chair for 8 hours a day, your body will literally start to adapt to that setting, to that chair, to those positions, right? Your hamstrings will shorten and your hip flexors will get tighter, but those adaptations will happen because your body is trying to get better at that. It's trying to do you a favor. So whenever I'm sitting down, I'm trying to think about like, all right, my body's literally right now, I'm spending like a copious amount of time, an hour, 2 hours, way longer than most people would go and spend at the gym, sitting and doing this activity. Maybe I'm watching, some jujitsu or something. Like, what do I want my body to be adapting into in that time? So again, it goes back to, I'm trying to, it's more of a perspective thing. A lot of people don't realize that the actions that you're doing throughout the day are informing your physicality, what you're capable of, more than anything else. And if you just acknowledge that, if you just acknowledge, hey, like what I'm doing throughout the day is impacting what I can and can't do, then like it becomes really easy to start to, like I said, swap things out and to see like the game that you're actually playing. That's how I like to think about it. It's like we're all playing this game. We're constantly training. Your body is constantly adapting to the actions throughout your day. Like just open your eyes and see that is the reality of it. And then you can make some changes very easily. My whole goal now is now that I'm in my 30s and I'm a dad and everything, is to just be as capable as possible while doing as little as possible. I always like try to joke with people that like I really don't train, even though I'm constantly training, because I put so much less effort than I did in like my 20s.
How old's your kid?
13 months.
Wow, congratulations.
Thank you.
Do you live with your kid?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, good job. Wow, you're doing it. Boy or girl?
Girl. Yeah.
Wow, congratulations.
Thank you.
Are you absolutely loving it?
I've been loving it. Yeah, it's really been the very best part of my life so far. And it's funny because before meeting her mom, I didn't really want to have kids, in the sense that like I kind of was like, I'm not going to contribute to overpopulation, blah blah blah. I had all of these like reasons, and then I met her and it all just like made sense all of a sudden. And since then it's been the best part of my life. So going into like everything that all my priorities and my goals prior to her being born, everything is completely shifted and completely changed. And again, that's like part of it is like I'm trying to do as little training, right? As setting aside as little time for my my physical goals, so I can set aside more time for my family and for her.
And when you're with her, do you see her? Do you do that with her? Are you looking for ways to already train her? Like I remember when my kid, I'll give you a couple examples. I thought crawling was the holy grail of fitness.
Mm-hmm.
Even before I met you, I thought crawling was like, why? As soon as you stand up, you're done crawling. Why would you ever encourage anyone to walk? So whenever my kids crawl and they were crawling proficiently and fast, I'd be like, dude, beast. And I would never give them those toys that encourage them to stand or walk or any of that. But also when they would war to stand up and walk, I would cheer them on. You know what I mean? Oh,
Yeah.
great. Just talk to them like they were just one of the dudes. Do you see yourself start just integrating what you know?
Well, I've always just known that kids are inherently better movers than adults,
Mhm.
because they don't have all of the same restrictions. And um I don't really need to like train her or coach her in any way. She's a little like freak of nature phenom. Like she was walking at 9 months, and by the time she was 10 months, 10 or 11 months, we had to like take all of her pack and plays down because she would literally do a pull up and pull herself out of them.
Yeah, awesome.
So yeah, she just sprints everywhere now, and has been for a few months. But I mean, you don't have to teach her anything. If the thing I want the most is to just show her. So I think part of it is maybe just like seeing me doing handstands, crawling around, jumping up on things, just seeing different options. She is such a little parrot, so she'll like anything we say or do, she's gonna copy. So I don't really need to like coax her. She is constantly trying to replicate what we're doing. So I think just like giving her a little bit of an example, some space, and it's obviously like seems to be working.
It's funny, I didn't even think about this until just now. Since my kids before they were born, I've always had wooden gymnastics rings hanging in the room. And so every day since my kids have been born, and now they're 7 and 9, they've done some sort of hanging every single day of their life. They hang, and their cores are so crazy strong, right? Because as soon as you hang, your feet kick in front of your frontal plane. And so my kids have always been hanging. I highly recommend hanging rings in a room somewhere. Just some rogue wooden rings. I just mounted them to the ceiling. I didn't. I hired a handyman.
Yeah.
And he did the man shit. Yeah, crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's great. I think and that's actually something that it's something that is more accessible as a kid because you're so light that you can kind of get away with hanging on things and climbing on things and suspending from things. But as an adult, like most people don't have access to something they can hang on in their own home.
Right.
I think just having that around, and then again,
they need to put it in. They need to stop being pussies and put it in. Like, hey, it's your living room. I know other people don't have rings hanging in their living room, but do it. Just do it. Not you. Yeah. I'm just saying rhetorically.
Yeah. No, I'm telling you, if you find somewhere to hang. I'm talking directly to the audience now. But yeah, that's really good advice. You should have some place to hang.
Is your hobby turned into a profession? Let me rephrase that. Has your passion turned into a profession?
It's definitely the goal, I think, is for me just being able to do what I want and train the way that I want, for that to be like my entire profession. Right now I'm still coaching. But yeah, I mean, I'd love to just do just the influencer thing. In fact, any businesses, any products, brands out there that are looking for somebody to promote their stuff. But the thing is that I'm just such a stickler with like, I can't fake. I'm not a good actor in any way, and I can't really kind of fake enjoying something or using something that I'm not behind. So I need like basically to just constantly be reaching out to brands that are things that I use. So if you are a brand and you see something in the background of my videos, or you want to put something back there, send it to me and then we can talk. But that's basically all I'm trying to do right now. I'm trying to get away from having to do too much one-on-one coaching. That's still what I'm doing.
Kevin, I got a tumble track bar and mats that you have in your garage. Awesome. Yep. My kids use those every day too. My 4-year-old daughter came up to me yesterday, so proud of the calluses on her hands. Yeah. Highly recommend all. Oh yeah. So those are the rings hanging in, now I live in a different house, but we still have rings. That's, I think that's Avi at 10 months old. And as you know, as a parent, that's really hard to watch. I'm terrified right now, but that's my oldest son at 10 months. That's how that was every day. And hey, and you think right there, right? It's scary because if he falls back, he's going to bang his head. His head can't reach, but I think he actually falls here, and you'll see how quickly he rotates, or maybe he doesn't. And I would dangle those rings just out of reach often. Also, by the way, if you do have rings in your house, that was a huge mistake right there, having rings that your kid can put his head through. Because your kid will stick his head through and he'll hang himself and die. The rings always have to be above his head. And ideally now we have small rings that they can't put their head in. So really important. And Tumble Track also sells small plastic rings, and you can use them too, obviously.
Yeah, I probably could. Yeah. And then we've got a setup in here. We've got some adjustable bars and TRX and all of that. So honestly, like I wish that I could switch over and start this. I've kind of taken like, or slowed down the pace for my content creation and just been doing just the things that I really, really want to, mostly because before, right, I was doing my daily posts, like, here's what I'm doing. I'm hanging every day. I'm crawling every day. Now so much of my day includes my daughter. It's like I feel like I have to exclude that because I'm still not sure how I feel about like having her on the internet. And I think that it would be something that people would want to see, and it would be a good way for me to kind of share what's going on actually in my life, other than just like the small snippets of a session at the beginning or the end of the day. But I don't know. How do you feel about that?
You're bringing back so many memories. So here's another thing I did. I never picked my kid up once they had a strong grip. I can't remember how it was, but so and you have to be. This isn't for everyone, but this is for people like me and you who are present. I would and who understand grip and all that stuff. Every time I would pick my kids up, I would put my 2 fingers out. They would grab their fingers. I would lift them a little bit off the ground. I would bring them close to me. And then we would switch positions every time for 2 reasons. It always made me present. It slowed me down. He got stronger. I got stronger. It did what you said. We were multitasking, right? I had to pick him up to take him. The only time I would ever pick him up and grab him if it was like an emergency, and I can't even think of an example. You know what I mean? But like if if we were crossing the street and he fell, and there were cars coming. But even then, like I realized that anytime my kid fell, if I went over and picked him up, I stole a burpee from him. I stole a fucking burpee from him. I got stronger and he lost an opportunity. But all of those things, and I showed all of that shit on the internet, and a lot of my friends, I got a lot of flack from my friends. My close friends said I was a sharenter. Like I just had to share everything my kids were doing. Hey, Caleb, will you go to the maybe Three Playing Brothers YouTube station or Instagram and just scroll back? But I maybe even scroll back like way back. Yeah, so they have an Instagram account. Oh, so look at that pull-up bar right there. So that bar those gymnastics bars. Yeah, my kids spend so much time. I got that from Tumble Track. They sponsored it, by the way. I'm sure they would sponsor you too. They're a great company. And my kids get on that thing every single day, even today at 7 and 9.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, this stuff. So yeah, we do tons of this, right? Oh yeah, this is a great practice. Just keep moving that thing a little further and further away. And I don't know how old they are here, 3 or 4. But I got 3 of them too, which kind of helps because they kind of are competing and mimicking each other.
Yeah, that's the thing, is that they're just going to copy what they see, and then they're going to build on it a little bit. Kids are so good at taking literally like a mundane task and making it a game. And that just keeps you constantly progressing. It's like, it must be like a survival trait. I mean, that, or developmental trait that, we have for our own good, is to just keep trying things until we figure out what works. I feel like at a certain point, movement wise, we just completely stop doing that. In fact, we start taking cues from people. People start, like, I guess more metaphorically, picking us up, saying you have to sit in this chair for 8 hours to do your job or whatever. Like it, and then, or you have to walk in a straight line whenever you're going down the street. However, I feel like there's these very defined ways that we're told, or at least shown, to move. And look, kids don't follow any of those rules. If you've taken a kid to a store, it's like complete chaos.
Right.
I want to be that chaos. I feel like then I can have that mobility and strength. Look at that. I don't know very many adults that can do this.
Yeah, so if you just have that stuff around, kids will just start doing that stuff. They just know to do that. You don't have to be like, hey, do the skin the cat. This is how you do it. You just be like, hey, hang there. And then eventually your kid does that shit.
Exactly. And this is also another distinction I like to make, is like, the kids don't even see doing reps like this as training. Like, this is just like this is currently their job, is to just entertain themselves. And they are gaining skills that it would take, like, as a coach, just seeing people earnestly come in and try week after week to try to unlock a skill like that. And then to see some kid being like, that seems like a really hilarious thing to go do until I have my juice box. It's like something that feels like there's kind of a missing link there. Like, why at the age of 30 is it so challenging, so difficult to do that. And I don't think it's anything to do with like that we've deteriorated physically. It's just that we have literally like, A, we've completely limited all of our options, and B, we've adapted into something that is far from that. And like I said, just changing some little perspective things about how you approach your day, you can go back to being like a kid. And I think the biggest barrier for a lot of people is just like not having permission to do it or thinking they look a little bit silly.
Yeah, for sure. People are afraid. We had a professional athlete on here, the backup quarterback for the Chicago Bears, young man, just made the team, and he was saying, yeah, that was interesting. He brought that up. I had forgotten about that. Now that I'm old, people are embarrassed. People are embarrassed sometimes to try things or work hard.
You know what?
He said you can't. You got to get over that shit. You got to fucking like go until there's snot coming out of your nose.
I think it's funny because I think I look around gyms. And if you were to like just take any of that stuff out of context, it's like it's super weird. It's super weird, super goofy, super cringy.
Right.
To see somebody grunting and screaming, and it's like within the context of understanding that person just lifted maybe the heaviest thing they've ever lifted. That's badass, right? Like you're seeing it from the perspective of their movie, but outside, especially if you don't even understand the training process, you're like, what the fuck is this weirdo doing? Like, this is super strange. That's how I see everything. Or I guess that's how it's easy for me to see that as being just as silly as taking a stroll down the street in a bear crawl, like, or whatever. Like,
how about when the gardeners come to my house and I'm in the garage working out, and there's a dude walking around with a gas-powered blower that I know is heavy, working out his forearms. There's another guy pushing a mower. There's another guy raking, doing basically some sort of like a mock sled pull. And I'm in my garage like a fucking jackass, accomplishing nothing. And they're out there, and I'm like, I pay these guys to do what I'm doing in here. Like sometimes I trip on that. That's the only time I feel like a fool. I'm like, God, I'm kind of weird.
Yeah, I think people sometimes take fitness a little too seriously because they think of it as this separate thing that they've got to like psych themselves up for, or some sort of like it's something that's going to transform them, and it can physically and mentally can transform you, but it's like people have been gaining strength and skill and ability like not doing that for a long time. So it's not like that is the norm. Like before physical training, people still had strength and ability, right? Yes. In fact, we simulate it in the gym because we just don't encounter that in our daily lives. So I don't see how like doing what we did before, like just having just an integrated like lifestyle, like a training integrated lifestyle where you don't have to set aside a bunch of time to go to a gym and to do kind of out of context exercises to look like you can do things in a specific context. Like, for example, I mean, sorry, give me 1 second. My computer is unplugged. We're back. But
you were going to give an example.
Yeah, like I mean, like seriously, like we go to the gym, we do this to build our bodies to look a specific way, to, or maybe even to try to function a certain way, right? But for what task? Like what is the true task that you're doing? If you were to actually go do that task, you would build more strength and proficiency, and your body would look more like what that task would demand. So that's generally like how I try to approach my training. I get comments about like how I look a lot of the times, and how I look is exactly what I feel like I should look like, because it's exactly what my body looks like from being
you have a fighter's physique, like a warrior's physique. You know, like
I call it a dad bod. It's my dad bod.
I think you look like a fighter. You look like a professional fighter. You look like a little more muscular than a professional fighter, I think.
I look more muscular than a professional fighter.
Like when I think of like boxers, I guess.
I think.
Are you still around 150, 160?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just, and I was tripping on how, and you're 5'7".
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's just, and look how thin you are. You're just a fucking muscle. You suck to roll with? Can you beat everyone at your gym?
I mean, yeah, I try to think of myself as a fun role. That's how I like to think about it. But yeah, no, I try. I literally do try to make it suck for everybody. at all times. I try to make them uncomfortable as a way to make them grow. So you can see
wear
here.
headgear. You wear headgear.
I got a hematoma on my left ear from I think it
Mm.
was from an accidental knee strike. And I didn't want to, really trying to maintain my look since I'm going the influencer route. So I'm trying to avoid that turning into cauliflower ear for right now. I've been in the game for 11 years and I've avoided cauliflower ear pretty effectively. So I'm trying to keep that going.
Nathaniel, when you say influencer, what do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean by that?
Well, I mean, just now I've got a platform. Like we're sitting here having a conversation because of that.
Right.
Yeah. So I think
Well, if you were some ding dong, well, if you weren't if you didn't have a serious practice, you have a serious practice that was presented to the world via media platforms, and I saw it and I was like, oh, this is fucking great. I want to talk to this guy. I think people will like hearing from him.
yeah,
But it
for
was
sure.
still the hard work you put in, not just. It's all the hard work you put in.
For sure. I mean,
and dedication, commitment,
I think
discipline.
that's something. I think that's the draw, right? That's what brings people to my channel is to see me doing something that they wouldn't do themselves. Which is the reason I watch other people's videos. Is like I wouldn't do that, so it's good to be able to see it here. But I mean, honestly, like if I were to try to pay a marketing company for the amount of reach that I have right now, like I wouldn't be able to afford it.
Right.
And so this feels like this is my job. Like people are interested in watching what I do. That's really what I want to do with life. And so I want to be able to train the way that I train, to continue to basically study through practice, and then pass on my insights, be able to pass on, like seriously, like I'm trying to embrace the cringiest thing possible. But yeah, I'm trying to basically just be able to be me in front of people in a tolerable way, and then that be my
I guess I just hear that word influencer and I just think of it being
I'm taking it back.
Okay. You're taking the word back.
Right. Yeah, it's okay. So
meaning it's not going to be like Kim like you are influencing people in a truly positive way. Like last night when I was watching your stuff, I got off the assault bike and I started practicing movements on my hands, and I started practicing like compassion when I got tired. Like you would say, hey, don't get crazy, don't hurt yourself, just feel it. And you were definitely influencing me. But when I hear the word influencer, for some reason I get triggered. I'm like, fuck that. I'm not buying lipstick from this motherfucker.
You might buy my lipstick. You don't.
All right.
Never say never.
Influencer, a person that influences another. I don't know. We all are influencers. I don't know. I'm being petty, but
okay.
Well, let it go.
Okay. I'm kind of trolling, but
okay.
That's kind of what I like to do, anyways. Like I kind of like to troll people and just and mess with people, and so I like to challenge what people think about things and why. And just like how I approach training, right? It really rubs people the wrong way. Some people can rub some people the wrong way. They're like, why don't you just go press a bench? Like, just go do that. And and I'm like, why would I do that here? No, I'm in fact, I'm not going to do that. And I did it before and I won't do it now because that's, you demanded of me. And so, yeah, if being an influencer is cringy, then, like that's probably the actual word I want to use, because I want to kind of challenge people's perception.
I like it.
Of what that is, because it's honestly, it's
everything you're doing is challenging people. So why? Yeah, I get it. It's who you are.
It's what people are doing anyway. So like, why pretend to be something else? If it's what we're doing right now, we're in front of people, and I don't know if I'm actually trying to influence people. I'm really just trying to, I guess in a way, yes, I am trying to influence people in some way or another. I want people to see what I'm doing and then be able to make an informed decision based off of it. We're able to see what I'm doing. That's the reason I get on the internet. I want to see somebody else have got in the water first to see how cold it is, and then I can decide if I want to get in. I want to do that for other people, but with things that I truly believe in, and things that I've actually been working on for years, and not just random shit.
I definitely feel I definitely see that we're responsible and we should take a responsibility for everything we do. So if you're out in public and you light up a cigarette, you should be responsible and let everyone know. You're letting everyone know that smoking's okay. There's people around you who've tried to quit, because we're just all mirroring each other out there. So basically what you're doing, or when I see someone put chewing tobacco in, and I used to chew tobacco, I think, well, that triggers me. Like, it makes me want to put one in. I'm not like mad at them for it, but it makes me want to put one in, right?
You think people
So
have any awareness
that they're doing that?
of their influence?
Some people do. Some people do. Like the whole tattoo thing and septum rings and all that shit. I that's all just insanity mirroring insanity to me. It's just people running away from something, and then other people seeing that that's what they did, and then them mirroring that. I don't think that that's a phenomenon that would be as big. I don't think people crave that deep in their soul to put a nose ring in or get a huge tattoo on their back. I think that they're being heavily influenced by other people.
I mean, yeah, but I mean,
whereas on the other end of the spectrum,
crave in their soul to do jujitsu either. I saw some other people doing it. I thought it was cool. And
right.
then I tried it and I liked it. So I think that we're all kind of copying people at all times. I was thinking the other day, I heard somebody else.
But I think that's a positive influence. I think that's a positive influence.
I think that positive is just relative.
I agree.
No, Jiu-jitsu can definitely be a negative influence. Jiu-jitsu is terrible for you. I mean, everything I do in my training is to allow me to do jujitsu. So the best influence jujitsu has on my life is that it is so destructive that it forces me to have good habits in other aspects of my life.
You mean on your joints and on your body, the beatdown you take?
Yeah, I mean, you got to think about it like you have another human being, and they're out there trying their hardest not only to keep me from doing what I'm doing, but they're trying to literally strangle me or break my arm or leg or something like that. And with jiu-jitsu, what makes it a fun game is that you can go really close to the actual break, and you can go all the way through the actual strangle before you have to stop playing the game. Unlike other martial arts in their games, like their sparring, that where you have to kind of like stop way closer to or way further from the line. So yeah, you take a lot of, I wouldn't say damage. You can. It really depends on like your maturity. Like as you're rolling, just learning how to not push yourself and not how to not like let people get to a point where they're going to break you. Like if somebody were to get me into a fully locked out armbar at this point, I'm just going to let them have it. I'm just going to be like tap and let that ego go because it's just a game. But yeah, no, it's I wouldn't say doing jujitsu is good for me. It's good for my mental health in a way that it gives me something to like kind of focus on and build towards. That's really no pressure at all.
How long have you been doing jiu-jitsu? You said like 11 years?
11 years, yeah.
And how often do you practice?
I try to practice. I try to be on the mats at least twice a week. I try to do 2 to 4 times a week. So I do.
Do you teach also?
Not really, not too often. So I basically spend all of my time just, working on my business coaching and stuff. And then jiu-jitsu doesn't really pay the bills. So if I'm like coaching a jiu-jitsu class, it's like as a favor to somebody, but yeah, not too much. And then I just teach my kid too.
What city are you in?
Indian, or I'm in Carmel.
So that's right. That's right. In what state?
Indiana.
Okay. Carmel.
Yeah. So now, like, yeah, that's my area. So if I have like haters or anybody that just like wants to come, challenge me, that's my address. I do get a lot of people online that are like, sure that they could kill me.
I don't even understand how you would even incite that. Your Instagram account has got like a whole Zen feel to it. The way you talk,
that pisses people off. They hate that.
Really? I mean, you're part monk. The stuff that you're doing, like this sort of, it's got this whole build the sand mandala feel to it. All your stuff, even the way you talk, don't you think?
I hadn't thought of that, but I do like to hear it.
Yeah, you're just like perching and like you're swinging like from one arm. I mean, like today I did this for 15 seconds in 12 different sets, trying to accumulate 3 minutes.
That's spot on.
I'm very compassionate towards myself if I have to put my foot down, and I try not to obsess on doing it perfectly. It's just putting in the time and working hard and focusing. Go get your XP.
And you don't want to kick that guy's ass?
Fuck no. I'm fucking like, next video, show me into more of his shit. Every time I watch your stuff, I wanted, like, if I was a coach, I would watch your stuff and I would make it part of my class's warm up. I would integrate all the stuff you're saying into my classes. So I'd be like, okay, guys, while I'm talking to you if I was at a CrossFit gym, while I'm talking today, we're going to be doing 15-second hangs, 30-second rests while I talk to you and prep you guys for the workout. I don't want to hear anyone talk. Get up there and hang. Let's go. And then I would, talk to the class for 5 minutes while they prepped on their hangs, or they, you know what I mean? I would even show them your videos. Hey guys, this is what we're going to do today.
Yeah, I love that. I think that just giving people time to work and then a little bit of demonstration can be frustrating for some people, though. Some people really hate that.
Hey, is there a product that you use every single day?
There's probably a lot of products I use every single day.
You thought about developing your own product?
What's that?
Have you thought about developing your own product? Like, I'm coming out with the tooth powder.
Tooth powder. What's
Yeah,
that?
It's fluoride's a neurotoxin.
Oh, okay. So it's for your teeth.
Yeah. So basically, it's a mixture of clay, crushed eggshells, baking soda, and a little bit of salt. It's going to be called I don't know. I don't have a name for it yet. Look, there it is. There's the prototype. The first batch is being made. And but I use toothpaste every day, and I can't stand putting poison in my body unless it starts with a T. Tequila. But I was thinking, you need a product.
Yeah, I have product ideas all the time. I constantly have product ideas. It's just that Can
I hear one? You want to share one?
Share one? Just off the top of my head. Nighttime toothpaste. There you go. And actually, that's a free one for you.
Wait a second. You just stole my idea, Nathaniel. I'm the toothpaste guy. What's a nighttime toothpaste?
So toothpaste is minty, right? Mint like wakes you up.
Yeah.
You should have toothpaste flavors for going to sleep.
Oh.
Nighttime toothpaste.
Okay. All right.
That one's off the dome because you were talking toothpaste on me.
All right.
That's for free for you.
All right. Thank you.
The next one I will invoice you for.
Okay. One idea per show. Lavender toothpaste. No, I'm not doing any flavored toothpastes.
Say that now.
What are you eating these days? What's the diet to maintain the cat physique, the agile cat physique?
Yeah. So a lot of people ask that. It's mostly just raw ginger, whole. No, I'm kidding. I do try to eat some whole.
I don't think you eat very much at all. I'm guessing you eat very little.
You don't think I eat much?
No.
I eat. I try to make it sound very intentional. I call it intuitive eating. So that is a real thing. But basically, I just eat when I'm hungry, and then I kind of stop eating when I'm not hungry. And I'm kind of I'm a very neurotic, introspective person. Like, I'm just constantly in my own head. And when I am, it's hard for me to even think about food. So I will accidentally fast. And I've done this my whole life. I'll just accidentally fast for like a whole day. And then I'll have like a meal at the end of the day. And I don't do it again for any health reasons. It's just kind of how my body operates. And I just try not to force myself to eat too much. That's always been kind of why my weight's around the same. So I will force myself to eat if it's like been too long. I'm like, oh, I'm getting sick. But like, but I don't like stuff myself. And then also I don't have like really any restrictions on my diet either, except for like just don't eat purely candy and ice cream. And I'm also lactose intolerant, which is kind of a nice like built-in restriction.
But when you're in the checkout line at Safeway, you don't buy a packet of peanut butter M&Ms, peanut M&Ms. You don't.
I don't stop myself if I want those.
Wow.
I will eat. Like I said, I'll let myself eat whatever I want. Because I'm always kind of, like I said, the way that I eat, I feel like my body just finds homeostasis, like my natural maintenance without me having to like count calories. That's That's why I don't give nutrition advice, because I never have had to struggle with my weight. And so I try not to talk about it with people or give people too much advice. Like, just having become a personal trainer and done, some study, I can give people like the standard advice of, counting their calories, macronutrients, but I try not to dip into that realm too much, because that's one of the things that actually has come easily to me, unfortunately. That's why I try to focus more on the movement realm, just because it's something that I've actually had to put in work to understanding.
Are you more conservative since you had a kid?
Politically?
Yeah.
No, I haven't had a chance to even think until this very moment.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, when you said earlier in the show, when you said something about not having kids because of overpopulation, and now you have a kid, and it's kind of like this perfect thing. And I was just wondering if you've swung, if you've gone from like, yeah, who cares if someone shits on the sidewalk, to like, fuck, man, we can't have all these people camping out on the sidewalks anymore. I got a little girl walking around here.
Yeah, no, I think as I age, and after becoming a parent, I've become much more selfish. I think before I was very live and let live, let's burn the world down kind of. Not
Yeah.
like that. I didn't, not like a manifesto way, just sort of like a very apathetic approach.
Good clarification, not in the manifesto. Okay, good clarification.
But now it's kind of like now basically now I have standards for myself and other people when it comes to like interacting around my kid, and the state of the, at least my immediate environment.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you think you'll send your kid to school, or you'll homeschool?
We'll just send her out into the woods to figure it out.
Just be like, with a loaf of bread so she can leave breadcrumbs.
Yeah, I mean, if that's what she wants, if the animals, they can follow her and teach her some lessons.
Have you talked about that, whether you're going to homeschool? I guess it's a little early, 13 months.
Yeah, no, we'll probably We'll probably do public school.
Yeah.
I just feel like it makes the socialization a lot easier. I feel like I don't.
I'm going to push back on that, and then I'm going to leave you alone, and I'm going to go back to talking on all fours.
Yeah, no, we can let's talk this. Let's hear what you have to say.
Okay. That is and I mean this with as gently as I can. That's a default answer about the socialization, and that actually, if you look at the kids who are like, if you looked at my kids who are homeschooled, and then you looked at like when they go to like the jiu-jitsu class, or they go to their tennis class, or they go to the skate park, and you look at which kids are you would want more socialized better, you'll be like, oh, that's my kids. They trained at AOJ last week. Do you know that place?
Awesome. Oh yeah.
Yeah, they train there. That's on the right. The kid holding his chest like this. 10 hours of training there, 2 hours a day for 5 days, undefeated, like 15 sparring matches a day. He's a little stud. But the kids that went to school, you don't want that socialization, I don't think.
I do get that. Yeah, no, I definitely
have. They're not socialized in a good way. Like, people be like, "Oh my God, your kids are so good." I'm like, "Yeah, they're not socialized." You know what I mean? It's like, like they're not in a dick measuring contest with other kids. They're not mean. They're nice. They haven't learned some of the shit that's like unnecessary, the way kids treat each other.
No, I totally get that. I think that I definitely wish that I would have been able to. I guess like
influencers homeschool their kids. That's one of the benefits of being an influencer.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't know that. So now you're teaching me.
Yeah.
I'm learning.
Good.
But yeah, no, I think one of the things, just from seeing those videos, you have multiple kids. Our kids' age ranges are so far apart that
you have other kids too?
Yeah, I have stepkids.
Oh, how many of those do you have?
I have a 17-year-old and an 11-year-old.
Oh my! Wait, how old are you?
I'm 32. I think 32.
Your spouse, your lady, I don't know if you're married, your lady has a child that's 17?
So, yeah, she's adopted. We're going to tell her next year.
Oh.
No, I'm kidding. We shared knows. She knows.
I thought so she had a kid really young, or she's significantly older than you?
No, she had a kid kind of young, early 20s.
Okay. Hey, where did you meet your lady?
At the gym.
At jiu-jitsu?
No, not at jiu-jitsu. I was a coach, and then she was at the gym where I just training. And I'm usually really good. I usually have like I usually try to put out a very non-sexual vibe for professionalism. Am I doing that right now?
Yeah, you haven't made me horny once.
Well, yeah, so I that's kind of my standard. And because of that, I ended up, I developed closer, more intimate relationships with people because there's not that weird tension. But yeah, we just kind of ended up somehow ending up bumping into each other outside of the gym. So I'm not a predator, but yeah, we did meet.
There's people in my chat who are coaches who've slept with 11 different girls at their gym. Like,
you know what? It's so common, but I still like to like.
I think it's better not to. Also, I think or at least try not to.
Yeah. I feel like it's still like a smudge on my record.
Oh yeah, it's not. I don't think it's a good idea in the workplace to vibe the chicks. I always just try to not vibe any chicks.
Yeah, but the one time I did it, it worked out. So
you're 1-0.
I'm 1-0. Yeah, and then I like to stop while I'm ahead.
Sean Lenderman, I do wish Sevi could understand that not everywhere is like California. Here in Arkansas, we have incredible public schools and teachers, no blue-haired ladies. All right. Fine. Nice. I don't know why you got to bring the blue hair into it, but okay. Jake Chapman, this guy lives on the Isle of Man. They're socializing with adults more, not other kids. I think there's value in knowing your peers and understanding other kids are shitty. I agree. Hey, and my guest yesterday said that. Cara Saunders was on here, and she said that she liked it when other kids were mean to her kids, that it helped her adapt in other situations. All right. Fine.
Yeah, good point.
Fine. Look, point. Yeah. Siding with the guest. I hate that. Don't ever do that. You know why it was necessary to bring blue hair into it? Okay, fine. Okay. Oh, it's a cantankerous crowd. Can you see the comments?
Yeah, they're popping up.
How about this one? He's quirky with dry humor.
I'm quirky.
That's a quick. I think that's a good assessment of you in just like a handful of words. Quirky with a dry humor.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
I think you should.
Sounds really positive.
What is in any setback quirky characterized by peculiar unexpected traits? Yeah, he fucking been walking on his hands for 28 months. Any unexpected benefits or downside to your practices, to the hands thing? Anything like you're like, yeah, I wish I would have known that, or I'm glad I discovered this, or
yeah, no. Honestly, I set up the perfect parameters at the very beginning to just make it automated. And by that, I mean, like, just stay present the entire time. By automated, I just mean never stop being present. But yeah, so I set up the parameters at the very beginning. Like, I'm going to spend X amount of time on my hands, and I'm not going to do anything that causes pain. And within that, like, I just haven't had any negative effects at all. No negative impacts to report. It's literally just been like, anytime I get even close to something bad happening, I just change course. That's kind of my issue with selling programs. The reason I don't have a program to sell is that you need to have the ability to adapt, and that requires presence to be able to step away from something that's telling you to do something.
You don't want to assign something and someone push through and hurt themselves.
Exactly. I think of here's the metaphor how I like to think about it is that programs are like, it's like a roadmap, right? Or a GPS, right? And then training, and again, you're always training. You're training right now. We're training right now. But like, let's say specifically in your sessions, it's like driving a car, right? If you were to just be holding your phone, just looking down at the map the entire time, that's following the program, and you don't look up to see if there's a person in the road, if there's some sort of obstruction, if there's something that's not accounted for then you're going to crash the car. Right. So you need to be able to, like, a program can be nice to give you some direction, but you still need to have enough knowledge, enough presence, enough like the right parameters in place to where you can actually drive the car yourself. You can't just blindly follow a GPS or a map without looking up and expect that to not end in disaster. That's how I think, if people throwing themselves into a program and not even questioning the how or why or what, and just hoping that on the other end they're going to pop out stronger. Like, to me, that feels like driving a vehicle while just looking at the map and not
Right.
looking out the windshield.
Right.
And so what I've been trying to do recently is, instead of writing maps, right, I'm trying to teach people how to navigate on their own and drive a car. And so that way, because the car, in this metaphor, the car is always moving, right? Even as we sit. So how can we just start to like make a little turn of the wheel to start to move that in a direction that we actually want to be in? We don't want to be kind of out of shape and have very low mobility. I want to be strong and mobile. Well, how can I slightly start to turn the car in small ways to become to get closer to that direction, right? That's my whole thing. So I'm trying to get away from teaching people exactly what to do. And
It's good. We're good. Good kid friendly show. Kid friendly show. I'll stop using F-bombs. We're good.
Okay. You're fine. She doesn't understand the words yet. So, but yeah, I try to like kind of steer away from programs in general, just because, not that I don't think that they're a useful tool, but I think that it's just like how people, if you constantly use your GPS, you don't know how to get anywhere. And again, if you take the analogy just a step further, if you don't even look up from the GPS, you're literally going to crash the car. And then in the analogy, that would be a major setback, like an injury or something like that.
Hey, go ahead. Sorry. When you think of these two training things, this you know, the hanging and the fours practice, the all fours practice, and the hands practice, how would you sum up the greatest effect it's had on you?
The
most add value, like the most add value.
Yeah, it's been the lessons that I've learned, honestly. So like the increase in my software. So I feel like
how you operate.
Yeah, how I operate, the changes in my conditioning, my flexibility, my strength. I know that all of those things are temporary, right? We will always give back all the strength, flexibility, everything that we work for and gain. We will one day give that back, right? That's inevitable.
The balance,
the ability to move, right? We're all on our way in that direction, right? So everything we work for is temporary, just so we can hold it in this moment, and then we have to keep working for it to even maintain it. But the lessons that I've learned about how to operate throughout my life, how to integrate my training into my day, the importance of training daily and cutting down on periods of inactivity, and really basically opening my eyes. It's like I really feel like I've opened my eyes to a different way of viewing the world, and it's so common sense. It's so easy. I want to give that to people. Like I want to. That's the reason I want to be. The influencer route is I honestly feel like I have a message. Maybe I should just start a cult. Like I feel like trying to be as sincere, it's hard. I think just go the cult route, and then get people seeing that way, and then it'll be for their own good. I can have like a Lex Luthor arc or something like that. But yeah, the idea is like I'm trying to get people to see things the way that I have started to see them since starting this practice. That's been the most powerful part of it. It's not any physical thing that I've gained from it, or even any like technical skills that I've gained from it. It's really just been this change in my perspective. And again, like the Zen thing, I like hearing that, because that kind of is what it feels like. It feels like kind of ascending to a different way of seeing it, but at the same time, it's really just kind of removing layers that have been put in place, because it's just like seeing how a kid operates. It's almost too simple. Like it's almost too much common sense for people to even consider. Like the things that I teach people, the message that I have, I feel like if it's not common sense, it should be. Like it's something that like people have been steered away from somehow. Like all I'm saying to people is, look, what you're doing throughout your day is creating you. It's creating what you're capable of, all the things that you're capable of. Why not consider that? Why not change your daily activities before starting to pile more actions on top of that with like an additional workout. Instead, go through the full list. Like say an hour of your day is training, 23 hours of the other 23 hours of your day are informing who you are just as much, but obviously more, 23 times the amount that you spent training.
Like, so an example would be, how about if you're an arm wrestler or if you're a rock climber, integrate that everything you pick up on Wednesdays, you only use your thumb and your index finger.
How about every day? And
sure, okay, every day. Well, no, on Tuesdays you do your middle finger and your thumb.
Oh, okay.
On Fridays you do your ring finger. That's what you're saying, right? Be conscious, be present, integrate your training into.
Yeah, you can set little parameters and goals like that to make it really easy to figure out like the why and the how. It's like, oh, I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to improve my grip strength, and I always pick things up. So making a small adjustment, yeah, it's a perfect example. Another one that I give to people a lot is whenever they have trouble like finding a place to hang, especially because hanging is physically demanding on a lot of people. A lot of people like, you go to a gym, you know that if somebody shows up day one, they've never hung before, then it's going to be really challenging for them. They might not even be able to hang their full body weight from the bar without falling. Right. So I just tell people like when you're standing near a door frame, just like suspend, grab your fingers like this on there and suspend. That is a scaled down version of it. If you do that all the time, the way that kids are always climbing and hanging on things, when you go to perform the action, like how your daughter was doing that skin the cat back and forth over and over, you don't even have to think about the skill itself. You're like, this is a familiar activity.
Right.
Because it's something that I do.
Even well, I have an air runner, and some people can't even do you know what that is? An air runner?
What is that?
It's a treadmill without a motor.
Oh yeah, I've seen those.
And some people can't. They freak out when they stand on it, and some people can't even. A lot of people can't walk on it, and they can't walk. They especially can't walk backwards on it, which is it's that thing, yeah. Which is a trip to me.
Just having good balance.
Yeah, I don't even know how to articulate it. Maybe it's to lean forward, but it's not like normal walking. It's a little bit different because the ground's moving underneath you, right? As you move on that thing because of the way it's shaped, that's what causes I don't know if the word's inertia or the mechanism to start rolling forward or backward. But
can your kids do it?
So easy. My kid can run on it and do a 360 on it while he's running, which is a trip for a self-propelled. That doesn't even make sense for a self-propelled runner. Yeah, I make my kids walk backwards on that in the fighting position while I throw balls at them and they catch them and throw them back at me.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah. Think about that. That's one of the reasons
I'm surprised you haven't gotten into that, by the way, tennis balls.
Into tennis balls. I've used them in training. Yeah. I do all sorts of little games and things, but what I found is that when I'm training by myself, like less is usually more. Like what I like to do is I like to start with like completely empty space. And then when I run, I don't add any equipment until I run into a problem that needs solved. Generally, sometimes I'll see a piece of equipment. I'll be inspired. I'll be inspired by it. I'm like, I want to climb on that thing. I want to jump on it. I want to balance on it. My inner child, it's really not even your inner child. It's like, have you ever woke up in the morning? When you wake up in the morning and you're compelled to stretch and move around, right?
Yeah.
That's called somatic stretching. It's like, it's stretching just based on like feeling, right? It's like, it's a compulsion you have. Your muscles crave that. When you move all the time, you have that same thing for movement. I want to do a handstand. When I wake up in the morning, I crave putting my hands down on the floor. I can't wait to get some weight in them. The same way that if you sat in bed until like 1 p.m. and you woke up at like 8, right? You'd feel weird. Like you'd probably feel antsy. You'd have nervous energy because you are used to getting up and walking around and operating throughout your day. I have that with like all parts of my body and with skills beyond just walking. So I just want to, and it makes it so easy. Like I see some things. So in that way I'll be inspired, but I usually like to just start with just my floor, right? Just a bare space. And then I'll run into like, oh, I really need to integrate some hanging. So then I'll integrate some equipment that uses hanging. or it's I need to be elevated a little bit to be able to get some more range of motion on this particular skill. I'll add something in. But I usually don't like present myself with a full room of things and then try to use them all or figure out what I'm going to use. I let my objective for that day inform like what I'm going to end up using, and then I'll go and pull from that. But I feel like less is more, like not having a bunch of options up front that are all right in front of me, but instead thinking about what I need and then having them nearby that I can go grab. I have a pretty
Listen to this. Sean Lenderman. God, you're a douche, Sean. If this guy can bench press his own body weight, I'll send everyone in the chat a nude.
Bench press my own body weight.
Of course he can bench press his own body weight. When's the last time you did bench? Have you done bench in the last year? Do you fuck around with bench?
No, it's been a few years for sure.
I didn't bench for a few years either. And then I started benching a little bit again when I was hurt. And I enjoyed it. It's one of those weird activities, though. You're right. Like if you saw it from like far away and you didn't know what it was, you'd be like, what is that person doing?
Yeah, it does seem a little bit weird.
Do you know what your max bench ever is, all time life?
Not high. It's low. It's 205, 210 or something like that. I really just do not.
Did you ever try to bench 225? I took as much creatine as I could. And one time I got up to 182 because I wanted to bench 225 and I still never got it. Even though I could do 135 for 20, no problem. I never got to put the 245s on.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think
that window closed for me unless I do drugs.
No, you could totally do it. I think what I do like about weights, and I think that
I did 220 though, so I did beat you by a few pounds.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, you're definitely the alpha in this.
Thank you. Even though I think you could tie me into a pretzel.
Yeah, no, I think of it as a skill, powerlifting, and honestly, you could just brute force it. But I just have never really invested much time in bench press because it's just not a skill that I'm that interested in.
What about a max weighted pull-up? Do you know what your max weighted pull-up is?
It's also been a few years for that, and I think it was like 91 pounds or something like that.
And you have pretty long arms for your size. Do you know what your spread is?
Yeah. So I think
fingertip to fingertip.
So I'm 5'7". What is that? That's 67. I think I've got a 70 on the dot. 70 on the dot for wingspan.
Hey, there was this girl, I think we talked about it on the last show. I remember I was probably 25 years old driving in my Toyota truck, and I heard the story on NPR of this girl whose parents were her parents got her an orangutan when she was little, a monkey, some sort of monkey. And she would follow the monkey everywhere. And she ended up, by the time she was like 12, being like one of the best climbers in the world. And her reach was like ridiculously long, and her parents didn't have that. And so as I'm listening to that, I'm like, holy shit, did she go through that adaptation from having a monkey as a pet?
That's wild. I wouldn't think so.
I wouldn't think so either. But imagine if your monkey's your only friend from when you're born to when you're 15. You're going to do some weird shit.
That's true. You probably would do some weird shit. Yeah, I don't know what to think about that, but that is interesting.
Your kid will be doing some weird shit, and it won't seem weird to you. Like my kids do some weird shit, but it doesn't seem weird to me, but it will seem weird to other people.
Yeah, I think all kids do weird shit. It's just getting them to not do the weird shit you don't want them to do, I guess. And then everything else is on the table.
Like vape.
Yeah, I guess no vaping. Not for my baby. Anyways.
Yeah. Do you vape? No.
Nope.
Yeah. It's disgusting. No. It's bad. Yeah. Shortens your life.
Vaping shortens your life?
I think. I haven't done the research on it. I just like you said, you eat intuitively. I think burning shit and inhaling the fumes is.
You vape intuitively?
I don't vape intuitively. Baby vape. Nathaniel, always great to have you on. Thank you for sharing. My favorite part about you is the fact that you're doing something that every single human being should do, and realize that we're constantly training ourselves in the moment. We're training others around us, and so we have to be a good example, and we're always training ourselves. And I appreciate you sharing that. That's a consistent message between both shows. And I look forward to finding what you're doing in the next 12 months.
Yeah, me too. We'll have to stay in touch. And I've got a book in the works right now, basically just kind of summarizing more of a field guide of what I've learned over the last 2 years with all of these practices. And I'm trying to kind of, like I said, summarize it up in a way that's easy for people to adopt my perspective and see it this way to make it simpler on themselves. So,
When's it come out?
I don't have a date yet, but it will be soon. So people can just continue following my socials and you'll see it pop up.
Hey, I know that I don't want you to think I wasn't listening to you, because I did hear you loud and clear about a training program, but I do think that you could put together a training program for walking on hands that coaches could integrate and people could integrate and parents can integrate with their kids. That would be fantastic.
I think so too. And I think that the analogy of it being a roadmap that that falls apart whenever you start to really integrate like more resources, like one-on-one interactions where you can actually explain the concepts, task-based games. We didn't really get into it, but like ecological approach is kind of a big part of my my training style and how I develop kind of my different objectives whenever it comes to like setting off on a big endeavor, like hanging for an additional minute on every day for 30 days or something like that. So yeah, you can definitely sort of sit in the passenger seat with somebody and help them to figure out how to drive the car. So I definitely could put together something. I'm not trying to demonize programs altogether. I think it's just the way that like me putting like a list of exercises down is what I was more referring to. But yeah, there might be something like that. That right now, like I said, like everything is one-on-one coaching because that's how I feel comfortable getting it across. I'm the kind of person where it's either I just want to put it out into the world and you interpret it how you will, or if we're working together, I want to make sure that you like fully grasp everything and we're going to like pump the brakes until you do. So it's hard to kind of find like a middle ground there where it's like I am putting something out there with moving parts, elements where maybe you get to interact with me on like a Discord or some sort of group or something like that, and then not have the control to keep people from like misinterpreting things or so I want to make sure everything's like super duper clear, concise, and that's really what the book is meant to be. So and then that comes out, that'll sort of be not, I don't want to call it a program, but like I said, kind of a field guide of how to integrate this stuff, how coaches could use this stuff, these concepts to be able to get more out of what they're doing or to give more direction to what they're doing.
Awesome. All right, brother. Hey, when that book comes out, please reach out to me. I'd love to have you back on. I'd love to get a copy and talk to you about it.
Yeah, we'll do. You'll be one of the first.
Thanks, Nathaniel.
All right. Talk to you
have
later.
a good day, dude. Bye.
You too.
Nathaniel Nolan, the guy who walks on his hands. It's a great Instagram account. Has anyone had a handstandy? Oh, wow. All sorts of great questions.
A little late. Should have asked that earlier.
I do think that if I was proficient at walking on my hands, I would try to pee into a urinal standing on my hands, but I would have my wife there to hold it. You know what I mean? Like at least for the first few attempts, like direct it.
Yeah. I feel like I just end up peeing on my face.
Yeah, that's so you can't have that. You can't let that.
Yeah.
That's why you have an assistant.
Right.
Oh, what if you had a string? So you're on your. Can you show me a picture of someone on their hands real quick? I'm trying to think. What if you had someone on their? What if you had a string tied around your penis?
How do you get it tied around your penis?
Just a little
before you kick up.
Okay, yeah, and then you have a string in your mouth that runs up your back, like I guess over your butthole or over your feet, depending on how, and then it's tied to your penis, and then you move your head to raise or lower your penis. Do you know what I'm saying? Can you kind of picture that?
Yep. Like a lever system, pulley system.
Yes, I have this. Let me see. I have a piece of dental floss here. So let's say this is your tie it around this.
You could do it like this. You could just hold that position.
Oh, kind of like, yeah, okay.
Into a toilet, maybe.
I was thinking like if this is your penis, and then this is the string that's tied to it.
Yeah.
Right. And then this thing wraps up and loops back down and comes back down, like, and it's in your mouth.
Right.
And so you control your penis like this.
Ah, yeah. Okay.
So yeah.
That might be a better way than the Leaning Tower
Oh, this dental floss
or
tastes good.
or the Sitka pizza.
The Siska pizza. The Leaning Tower. God, I didn't even drink yesterday, and I shared the trailer. I can't even believe it. What was I thinking? So yesterday, Caleb pointed out to me that we had show 199 pulled down.
98.
Thank you, 198. And so I went through, and they actually sent me the clip that got the show pulled down.
Really?
Yeah. Okay.
Can't wait to see that.
Yeah, it's crazy. So first of all, what I'm gonna say in here, immediately after I heard why they pulled it down, I Googled. So this is YouTube pulled it down for misinformation. So I went to their other search engine and I Googled, is what I said true? And what I said is exactly true. And what I said on here on this show, here it is. Here it is. And what's crazy is that means someone's going back and listening to my shows and trying to get me fucking canceled. Isn't that
Sounds
crazy?
about right.
By the way?
Yeah.
Yeah. But okay, so I appealed it too, by the way.
I'm pretty sure that the effectiveness for infection from the injection is 0%.
The effectiveness for the injection is 0%, meaning if you get the injection, it has zero effect on you getting the infection.
Okay. Yes.
And that's conclusive. So now if you Google, does the DVOC vaccine, does the 49er vaccines stop infection? You will see, no, it does not. It does not stop infection. It's the first thing that pops up in Google, the very first thing. It does not stop, and yet someone reported that and I got a ding for it yesterday. And it's like, how, if I'm using their own search engine, but they're dinging me for reporting what they report, Google should get shut down for a day. Do you see that? I took a screenshot of what I Googled and what the first thing that came up. Do you see it, Caleb? What the first thing that comes up?
I didn't type in exactly what you typed in, but
Okay, I typed in does COVID vaccine stop infection? And the very first thing that pops up on Google is COVID-19 jabs save millions of lives during the pandemic. There's the propaganda, and continue to do good job of keeping at risk individuals out of the hospital. But even updated versions of existing injection vaccines offer scant and short-lived protection against infection. That means zero. Scant. What is that, scientific? Insane. So someone's going through my shows and looking for that shit. And that was cool. At least YouTube didn't give me a strike for that or suspend my account. What the fuck comment is this?
I was reading those too. There is orange red in only the lower half of the dark green leaves of the palm trees on the right. Straight branchless trees in a row on the left.
I wonder if we have any Jewish users.
He is the man of the earth. If you are Jewish, you did not blend.
I don't know if I'm allowed. Oh, here. Chris Biesterfeld and Chris Biesterfeld and Judy got their level 1s. Holy shit! Nicole Carroll signs the. It says Nicole Carroll, General Manager, CrossFit Training and Education. I thought Dave was the. What the fuck is going on? Is this what? Oh my God! You know what? Oh shit! I lost you. Can you see me?
Yeah.
I can't see you anymore. Something happened. Oh, I don't get why it says Nicole Carroll. God, someone told me something. And then Judy Reed. There it is. Asian Judy. as we call her in the hood.
Not Jody, the cabinet lady.
Yeah, not Jody.
Fuck that up.
Whatever. I did know there's another Greg Glasson in the world. Anyway, so there's that. No surprise to you guys, I know, about YouTube and Google. What douchebags. You guys in the audience were calling this guy a soy boy and making fun of his bench press. I'm telling you, this guy's a fucking bad dude. His jiu-jitsu's fucking wicked. I'm telling you, it'll fucking mash you.
Yeah, I think it's funny that people will just find anything to hate on.
Not to say he's not a soy boy, but I'm just saying.
Stupid.
I don't think can you be 1/8 Jew? I think if your mom's a Jew, you're a Jew. I think the way that it works. That's how they commandeer people.
Does that mean your like grandparents were Jewish and is that how that works?
I think it's just if the chick's Jewish or something. Hey, don't the Mormons just go through and like find everyone who's dead and like say a prayer for them so that they go to heaven? Don't they have like something like where the church is doing
chain?
That? Or something? Like they don't only do it for their people, but they're trying to save everyone.
Maybe. I know they've done it. I've seen it done at like Catholic churches too. They'll just go through and pray for people who have died recently.
It doesn't matter like what they are, what their
they'll do it
denomination. It used to have Dawn. It used to have Dawn's signature. I wonder when it went to Nicole. No shit, it had Dawn's signature. That makes no sense.
I'd say that seems strange. Oh, sorry.
God, that's kind of a weird thing, right? You get an L1 certificate from the program that Greg developed, but it would have someone else. Yeah, I don't. I live in Arkansas, and my kids' indoctrination camp is fine, Sevan. It's not taught by blue-haired people. It's a different kind of indoctrination camp. Oh, okay. Cool. I went to school. I turned out just fine. All right. It's cool. Cool with that. Jesus told me in my sleep last night that I should never send my kids to school. What can I do? Arkansas is beautiful. Dude, I'll tell you where it's beautiful. Fucking California is beautiful.
Nebraska's looking pretty good right now, too.
I'm going to walk outside now, and the whole ground in front of my podcast office is going to be littered with passion fruit. Oh, shit, I'm going to play tennis today. Shit, it rained here 3 days in a row. 3 fucking days of rain.
When it rained...
Property tax I pay? It can't rain that many days in a row here. I pay way too much property tax for that shit. Motherfucker, someone forgot to tell God my zip code. When you say it's beautiful, what do you mean? What smudge? Oh, is that ejaculate?
No, that's rain.
Oh shit! Is that new?
Pretty new, yeah. We had the same thing. It rained for 3 days straight, and then it just kind of piled up and leaked through the roof a little bit. But no, it's not beautiful here. It is completely gray. The grass is dead. The trees are dead. Everything is dead. No snow yet, which means it looks like just deserted.
Do you have woodpeckers?
Yeah, we have woodpeckers.
I saw a woodpecker yesterday.
In your trees?
Yeah. I mean, we have lots of woodpeckers around here, but it's always kind of fun seeing them. I still like seeing them. I still get excited. That's cool. I don't wear the toe spacers daily. I was wearing them a lot like a lot. And my big toe started having like, I don't know. I just needed to take a break from him. But in the toe spacer's defense, oh shit, Wesley Curry got suspended. Did you see that?
He's a bot. He's
Oh.
starting to piss me off.
Wow, he got tossed. I don't see that very often. Someone get kicked out. You booted him?
Yeah.
Wow, damn, Caleb. Are you on testosterone?
Yeah, I'm feeling feisty.
I think you're only supposed to. I was wearing them for hours at a time.
Hours?
Hours.
Holy shit.
I would put them on and just wear them for the entire show. 2 hours. Oh, that's interesting. Jedediah Nelson. That's why Caleb has that jacket to bring some color into his life, because it's just so dark and that's fair.
Jedediah's just been shitting on my jacket.
Yeah,
ever since.
It's a well of great content. Your jacket.
It's a nice jacket. It's really warm.
Wesley is a friend of mayhem.
Oh, you think so, huh?
I don't even know what that means.
The guy that I just blocked.
I know, but what's it mean? He's a friend of mayhem.
He's just been preaching in the chat.
Oh,
but it's just incomprehensible. None of it makes sense.
Did you see the link that someone sent this morning? And this guy's playing it's an Instagram account of a first person shooter game.
Yeah.
Did you watch that video?
Yes.
Did that resonate at all with you? Did you think that was like, everyone's like, oh my God, that's so funny. Oh wow, cool. And I'm like, what the fuck? I don't even like that. I don't even. I watched it twice.
Hilarious.
Oh, you do?
I'll pull it up right now. I think it's super fucking morbid, but it's great.
I can't. It does zero for me. I'm like, wow, I'm just so out of touch with like. Have you ever played a game like this?
Oh yeah, all the time.
Okay, I've never played a game like this. Maybe that's why I don't get it. Okay, here we go. This every once in a while something like this comes across my desk, but this is completely over my head. I have no fucking idea why this is. Why this is the third time I'm gonna watch this, and I could have gone never seen it. Okay, here we go.
Would you guys be there for me if I was going through something?
No.
Nope.
Absolutely not.
I hope it sucks whatever you're going through.
I hope it sucks.
What the fuck?
I hope it emotionally scars you for the rest of your life.
I hope you reach out to me so I can ignore you. I can't wait to go to your funeral knowing that I could have changed that outcome.
How is that funny? What am I missing? Someone explain that to me.
Like somebody's suicidal, and then they reach out to you, and then you ignore them.
And then you say, "I'll be at your funeral."
Yeah, and then you're like, I can't wait to be at your funeral, then knowing that I could have changed that you were suicidal. I could have answered the
Do
phone.
I have to understand the kind of the scene around this game to get this joke?
No, that's just
Oh, it's lad banter.
just shitting on each other.
I get, yeah. I do lad banter.
I'm one of the lads.
I just don't think that's very good lad banter. I don't know. I don't get it.
Lately, in the past probably 3 or 4 years, like suicide jokes and like shit like that has been going up. A lot of people making suicide jokes. It's kind of fucked up.
Look that up in Google Trends. Google. Do you know how to do Google Trends?
No, I'll figure it out.
Let's see. Google Trends. Suicide humor. Suicide.
Oh yeah,
Really? It's way up?
the past month it's like skyrocketed. If that's what I'm looking at.
Let me see. Wow. Suicide humor.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at that.
I don't know what it is.
How the fuck are you on the pulse like that?
I don't know. I think it started as like a military thing. People just joking on each other for
It has completely skyrocketed.
yeah.
What about How about dick jokes? Dick jokes in Google Trends. The past day, past 12 months. Let's see. No, dick jokes have taken a fucking serious fall. They've been replaced. Wow, look, Wesley's back. Look at how when you say that's a bot, that's like really not a person.
I don't. Yeah, no, that's definitely not a person. But they just keep coming back, so I have no idea. I put them in timeout. It was like a 5-minute timeout. I didn't think they would come back. I could just block them all together, though.
Dick jokes are only funny in this bubble, I think.
You need a bigger bubble, Mason.
I want to see if it's what I want to see. I can't see outside right now. Oh, so we don't even have a guest tomorrow. We had the lady who directed the George Floyd movie or produced the George Floyd movie. I wonder what happened to her. She must have rescheduled. And then we have CrossFit, the owner of CrossFit Overload on Saturday morning, John Lavelle. He used to be on the affiliate team. Oh, that's going to be interesting. Who are we getting tomorrow? There was someone we might get tomorrow.
Oh, Dylan.
Oh, shit. Ariel Lowen's husband.
Yeah.
Loose cannon, people. He could say anything.
He really is.
Dylan Lowen's coming on. Listen, that could be the best athlete interview show of all time. He might say some crazy shit. Like we might find out she beats him or something.
She probably runs that household.
She's like really dominant. She always has to be on top. Yeah, something crazy is going to happen. Some crazy story. And he's in love with her. How can I do anything to this guy? Oh, put user in timeout. Okay, I did that. Sorry, Wesley. I just wanted to see my powers. Can you tell I put him in timeout?
Yeah.
Did it pop up as saying this user's been put on timeout? And you're, oh, that's cool. He's gone.
I mean, they kind of have like a real page, but
Who?
this guy.
Wesley Curry too? Oh, you Googled him?
No, I just pulled up his profile that he's been commenting from.
Oh.
A lot of preaching.
Oh, that's cool. All right. Sorry. Shit. I feel bad taking him out then. Sorry, Wesley. Can you hear me?
He'll come back in like 5-10 minutes.
Oh, you guys are going to love this guy. It's all sorts of Jesus talk. Screwing him over. We didn't screw him over. Just practicing banning people. He's helping us. I've never put anyone on timeout, or I can't remember. How about you just stop censoring people? Listen, it was like he was yelling in the room. He just needed to be muted for a second. Invite the dude back. Don't tell me what to do, motherfucker. Yeah, Wesley, call in. Yeah, sorry. If you get an apology if you call in. Oh, did he call? It says someone called and I missed the call.
Maybe.
Oh no, that was yesterday.
Oh.
All right, I think the show's over. Oh, what's today? Thursday? Shut Up and Scribbles on?
Yeah, I think so. I think there's.
How about Pedro's game show? Is that on?
That was yesterday, actually. It was pretty good. Lucy Campbell, Chase, and Hiller.
Was that like was that a final or something?
I think it was a semifinal.
Okay.
So whoever won that gets to go to the final.
Hey, and did Hiller like win at the last minute? Like what happened there?
Yeah, he did. He's kind of. I think he won by half a point or something. But yeah, he ended up winning.
Sevan, you were there. No, not really. I wasn't. I just like logged in. I tried to call Hiller while he was on the show, and he said I'm live on the show. So then I logged in and just gave a comment, like just so like Pedro would feel like I liked him. Oh, you think Pedro was terrified not to pick Hiller? He was intimidated? Wow.
I don't know about that. Hiller was on one though for sure. He had taken like 20 scoops of pre-workout and drank a C4.
I saw that. I saw the Hey, will you Google a woman pouring milk on her?
Okay.
Like,
you want that in Google Trends?
or I know I want images.
Here,
let
I
me
got
see.
it for you.
Woman pouring
Like
milk.
this?
Yeah.
Wow.
So, what is the point of that? What is the sole and only point of a woman pouring something into her mouth or on her body? What is the only? Someone please write it in the chat. What is the like? Like, there's only one thing going on there. That's it. One thing. And if you're a woman, maybe you didn't understand it, but every man knows what it is. Skincare.
Skincare.
Bukkake simulates male ejaculate. Yeah. That's all it is. Anytime you see anyone pour something on themselves like that, like in that sense, in that like sexy sense, that's what that is. It's the, maybe you didn't mean it that way, but it's just like when I go like this, 99% of the time it signifies to you that I'm pointing at something. That's what that is. If I go like that, you know, like when Nate Diaz was fighting Leon Edwards and he punched him in the 5th round and he stunned him and he starts pointing at him. Everyone knew. He's like, oh shit. Like everyone knows that. Now you could be like, hey, you're just making that up. Okay, I'm just making that up. But there is a God, I hate using this word, a consensus. So if you're a woman and you're pouring something on you into your mouth, you're signaling every man out there to think about ejaculating in your mouth. Am I even off a little bit there? Anyone? I'm totally open to be like, hey, Sevan, you're totally wrong. I'll be like, okay. Oh, wait. Can anyone? Should we do a poll? Does pouring white stuff into a woman's mouth, whether it be milk or whatever it be,
I saw
you're
it as a
100% not off even a little bit. Okay, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah. And let me tell you, Dan's my harshest critic. So like,
That's true.
I don't think it's even subconscious. It's not even subconscious. It's a reenactment. It's a reenactment of so yeah, sex appeal. So that's a woman's way of saying it's sex appeal, but because they've turned it down from a 10 to like a 2.
Okay, yeah.
Subliminal suggestive, not subliminal. Let's look up subliminal. Not subliminal.
It's not like when they flashed across the screen.
Subliminal. Below the threshold sensation or consciousness perceived by or affecting someone's mind without their being aware of it. Okay, maybe for women, not for guy. Overtly suggestive, but yeah, I'm more on that. I'm more on overtly suggestive. Can you please give context? There's this video that's yeah, who cares? I agree. I agree with that too. Ooh, I almost accidentally put David Weed on timeout. I clicked the 3 dots. You've never been more correct in your life. Yeah. Who cares? And I've never been more correct. Yeah, I agree with all that. Who cares? Yeah. Who cares? I agree. So when you see Lauren Khalil pouring powder into her mouth, that's she's simulating, she's triggering all the dudes out there of thinking about ejaculating in her mouth. That's what she's doing. I don't understand why someone just doesn't say it. So no matter what Hiller does or doesn't do or what anyone says it, they can't beat what she's already done. Like, she can't be offended by any of it. Dusty cum. Yeah. Who is Lauren Khalil? This person. Water is wet. Yeah. No, what? I'm wrong? Tell me. No, I'm wrong. Oh, so Dan said I was 100% right, but now I'm wrong because it's white powder. Okay, so you tell me, what is that signaling if someone's opening their mouth and pouring something into it like that and you're a woman? You tell me. I'm curious. What is the suggestive nature of it? Yeah, I agree. Like, I totally agree. It's like an SNL skit, like the cork soaker skit that Mrs. Jackson did. You guys remember that? Cork soakers? The cork soakers, right. But we all knew what it was. It's cocksuckers.
That's subliminal.
Zach Jones, he knows. Sevan, you always say the silent part. Yeah. Yeah, she was Lauren was a guest on the show. She was great. She's awesome. Oh, so you don't think, okay, so when she's pouring the white powder in her mouth, that wasn't simulation of that. It was just retarded shit, just being retarded. I think it was like someone trying to eat a hot dog and they shove it in their eye. Like, you think it was just just being retarded.
It was a really poor attempt at like
pouring powder. That's different for sure. I hope you're joking. Is that facetious?
I think he's being serious.
You can't be serious.
But yeah.
Sean Lenderman, I can't have her back on now. We'll just sit here daydreaming about jizzing all over.
Well, now that you've said it, yes.
Oh, shit. She's had an OnlyFans for a while now. I've been subbed for a few months. No shit. Does she really? I'm so confused. Do you guys agree with me or not? Do you think that it's a leap from the milk to the powder? I don't think. I think all of that shit. Whenever you see women doing that, that's the what did Audrey call it? The seductive part. If she poured a protein shake down her shirt, that would be waved. How about this? There's a picture of Danny Spiegel shaking a drink shaker, right? And there's something white in it, and she's shaking it down by her crotch and it's shooting out. What do you think that's inferring? What do you think that's signaling to half the population?
A bust.
Yeah.
I don't know about the powder thing, but I could see it with the liquid for sure.
What do you think that powder thing is that she's doing?
I didn't see it when I saw the powder. When I saw powder, I was just like, God, you suck at that. That's what I saw.
So you think she was actually really trying to get in her mouth, or she was just partying with it like confetti? You thought it was just confetti?
That's what I thought. Yeah. It was just like a really poor advertising.
Dear women, when you open your mouth and you pour something into it, I don't know how to even finish that sentence. If I wasn't such a nice, wholesome man, I would finish that sentence. The same thing. Thank you, Audrey. Thank you. And poor Khalil is awesome. She just needs someone around her saying, don't go down that route. Yeah. Or if she does, just be cool with it. I'm not saying she shouldn't go down that route, by the way. And thank you. By the way, there's one fucking honest person in the chat. Oh, cocaine. All right. I see that too. Audrey. Just one of you douche nozzles. Yeah, I don't think that matters. Intent and perception are not always aligned. I hear you. My point is this. I don't care that she did it. I thought it was fine. But like, you really, like, if you're putting yourself out there like that, you got to be ready for it all at that point. I'm not like, hey, I'm going to work out in my long johns and someone's going to make fun of me and it's going to hurt my feelings. It's like, no, I know. I look like a fucking just a tranny. I know. It's like, I'm not a tranny. I'm in denial. I'm a tranny, but I know.
It's like every time I wear this sweater, I know somebody's going to shit on me for it.
Yeah, but it's
so
like,
I just wear it all the time now.
Yeah, it's just
like, fuck you.
Yeah, you're not going to come on tomorrow wearing it and someone's going to make a joke and you're going to have your feelings hurt.
Oh my God, somebody didn't like my sweater.
Yeah, own that shit. Thank you. Yeah, just own it. Yeah. So let me ask you this. You're telling, what if she would have done this? What if Lauren would have put the powder in a shaker, shook it up, and then poured it on her?
Then I would have perceived it that way.
Change the viscosity.
Yeah, it's all about viscosity.
I just. So many of you need to be schooled. You can buy Lauren's used workout clothes on her IG. Oh, that's cool too. Maybe I should do more workout videos. I can't believe how many views that video I did got.
Yeah, you should.
I didn't even like. I mic'd myself up. I didn't even really know what I was doing. I should have talked more. Holy shit! There's 45 comments on that.
What?
Yes, someone wrote a video. Sevan working out gets 4,000 views. Oh God!
Wow. It's like a unicorn. They just can't believe that you actually work out.
Man,
That's 45 comments without any replies.
hey, hey! It went from I was doing the dips to like, man, my chest is already like feeling sore. To like in the 5th round, all of a sudden, I guess I wasn't paying attention to my triceps. I was just like squeezing in the front. To all of a sudden in the 5th round, I was like, oh shit, my triceps have just turned off. I didn't even like. I mean, obviously, if you're doing dips, you're using tricep, but they just all of a sudden were just toast.
Oh,
No, I didn't. I couldn't even. Did you beat Craig Ritchie's time? I couldn't even do the workout, dude. That's the thing. And the people in the comments are nice about it. Like they get I scaled, but the people in the live chat were just douchebags. No, after I think maybe I kipped a few in the first 5 rounds, 1 or 2 pull-ups, and then in the 6th round, I just started getting stopped. Not in the pull-ups so much, but in the dips. Like I only do like 4, 3, or 5, or like, you know. And in the 10th round, and you're not even supposed to do it in rounds. I kind of changed the workout a little bit, but I honestly did think I was going to beat Craig Ritchie, and I thought there was a chance I could beat Hiller. But it wasn't even close. If I would have tried to do the whole workout, I'd probably still be in there, still doing it. So out of touch with. I'm so overly confident. It's crazy. I think I'm so much more capable than I really am. But whatever.
Is your head close to that garage door?
Yeah, not as close as it looks, but it's close. But not as close as it looks.
Dang.
Yeah, that would be toast. Philip Kelly, yeah, that would be fucked up. Try not making an EMOM. Then I'd be dead. I'd make it like 2 rounds. That's the thing. I was like, okay, I'm just going to do it on the minute every minute, and it'll be easy. And I could at least say I beat Craig. I couldn't even come close to beating him. There was a point where I was going to get stopped or I was going to get injured maybe even. Hey, I tried to do 2 dips just cold, like not even working out, and I thought my shoulder was going to explode. So I rode the assault bike for 10 minutes. I got a quick 100 calories on it.
If I do any sort of like pressing, push-ups, dips, and I just cold start it, I can't do it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pop something.
That's probably because you're so big, though. Tons of range of motion, right?
Yeah, there's a long way to go for me.
But once I warmed up, it was cool. Once you're warmed up, are you good?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, as soon as I'm warmed up, like I can whip them out pretty easy.
Why do you wear long layers to work out? So I just to stay warm. I just the warmer I stay, I just try to stay warm. I'm just always trying to stay like as sweaty, as fucking super sweaty as I can. All right. Looks like the behind the scenes is moving along. Let's pull up a calendar. You want to do some more work right now, just real quick?
Sure.
What's the first day of the Open?
Oh, let's find out.
So this is what I'm proposing to CrossFit. Caleb, can we see your nipples? I've never seen anyone post anything like that.
What? Oh
Just
my
reading-
God.
I'm just reading it. I
Uh,
just read. Oh, February
no.
26th, Caved Astro. Okay, thank you. No. It can't be February 26th. That's a
29th, February
Monday.
29th.
Okay, 29th. So he got his 6s and his 9s backwards. Not bad. Okay. Okay. So if we do I need pens on paper. If we do a show on I want to show the final episode on the 28th. So that would be the 28th. And then and then what should we do? Let's say we do Mondays and Wednesdays. Release a show every Monday and Wednesday. So the 28th, the 26th, the 21st, the 19th, the 14th and the 12th, the 7th and the 5th, 7th and the 5th, and then the 30. Oh shit, is that? Oh, January, and then the 31st. I'll tell you guys what I'm doing here in a second. 31st and the 29th. So how many episodes is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then the 24th and the 22nd.
Mm-hmm.
And the 17th and the 15th. Okay, how many shows is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So that's 14. So that means the first show would air on January 15th for free. What I want to do in a perfect world, oh shit. Is it December 15th yet? Wow, we're way behind. What I want to do is I want to release them all for $20 before and give me a chance to recoup some of the cost and pay people and then save money to do Wadapalooza and the games and all that shit. So I wanted to release it behind a paywall for a month and then start releasing them.
You could do it for 4 weeks. Well, yeah, that's a month.
Yeah, but I would have had to have started on to
Have them all ready by Christmas Day.
Yeah, I guess I could do that. Release them all on Christmas Day and then don't start releasing them and then till January 15th for free.
Yeah.
$50. Surprise all your fans, sign up for the Open. I probably am going to sign up for the Open. I don't know. I probably am going to sign up for the Open. I don't know where I would do the workouts. I'm not going anywhere to get them like certified.
Do them at Sousa's gym.
At who? No,
Sousa's.
fuck. 3 hours there and back.
Oh, you're right.
14 or 15 episodes. The first episode's so long. It's an hour and 7 minutes. And like we've been debating whether we should cut it in half or not. I could put up you always want me to put up episode 1? Just send you guys all a link right now. Just everyone who's watching. Dude, honestly, it's probably cost the behind the scenes probably going to cost $60,000, I bet, at least. And that's with like no one even making any like real money off it. That's like people slaving. Those $1,000 a night steak dinners we do aren't cheap. I thought you could still do home videos. Oh, can you do that? I could sign up for the Open? Okay. Hey, I do want to do this. What do you guys think about this? I do want to make it so that the top, I don't know, 5 or 10 affiliates that have the most people sign up, I'll do a podcast with for next year for my affiliate series. Part of me is like, well, that's kind of douchey. I'm acting like it's a big deal to be on this show, but I do think it's a big deal to be on this show. And then the number one, the affiliate that has the most open signups, I was thinking, hey, I'll invite them on the show once a month, even if it's like just for 10 or 15 minutes, just to shoot the shit. Hey, what's up? You guys like that? I want to do my part to help people to contribute to people signing up for the Open. I have anyone who wants a copy of Every Second Counts, I'll mail it to you. I shouldn't say that. I still haven't mailed out the free Slack boxes. They're still sitting on my dining room table.
I just got a message about one the other day.
About Slack box?
if somebody wanted to get one from you.
Oh, send me their address.
Okay.
Whitney Davis. I need to send Whitney one too. I have her address. Lauren was trying to be sexy and it just didn't work. So then when got called out, she and everyone else got offended. Like, just be cool and lean into it when you do dumb shit. Yeah. Yes, sexy. You mean by simulating having semen sprayed on you? Which I understand all. Like I understand the probably the largest consumer of podium is men, and like I get it. And maybe some people still did think it was sexy. I didn't think it was dumb like anyone even thought it was. I just think it's pretty wild to do that. Like I'll do some crazy shit. I ain't making a video of shit being poured into my mouth. But thank you. I'm glad to see there's people being honest. Thank you, Whitney. I was supposed to send you one? No, I have 3 addresses. Okay, you know what? My wife said she'd mail them out. I have the addresses in my notes here, and I'm going to it's a Blade, it's Whitney, and it's someone else. Slackbox. Okay, here it is. These are the 3 people. It's Joe Neal's. I have Joe Neal's address, Blade's address, and Whitney Davis' address. And I'm going to copy this right now, and I'm going to send it to my wife for the
I'm
Slack
getting another one for you as well. I'll forward it to you.
Okay. There was a guy. Is it a guy in Germany? There was a guy in Germany I was supposed to send one to. Okay, I just sent it to my wife. She's been telling me she'll mail them forever. Look at I'm doing like work. You guys are watching my YouTube station when I do work. Scheduled behind the scenes. I don't think you're on the list, Mr. Kelly. Let me see. Let me double check. Joe, Blade, Whitney. Nope. I never. In the old days, I used to turn her down all the time. Now, never, ever, ever. She was unsatiable. I probably shouldn't go into that. It's kind of private. Unsatiable. Fucking nuts. Oh, little heart from Mr. Kelly. Oh, my gardener just chimed in. I'll pick one up next time you're mowing my lawn, Steven. Steven Flores. Get it? Racist humor. Get it?
Good one.
Sev, he doesn't have many boners left. He can't let any go to waste. What's the list? People that have done your mom. Where did you go? What do you mean, what's the list? Where have you been? Can I call in? Sure. Yeah, call in. Yeah, call in. Go ahead. Last thing, and then I got to go. I'm going to play tennis. Tennis. I can't believe I played tennis.
Gay.
Oh, that's so funny. My phone rang, but it's the wrong phone.
If anybody has any plumbing advice, I'd appreciate some information on how to set up the water for a washing machine. That'd be cool. Also, if you guys have any roofing knowledge, take some roofing advice. That's pretty much it. Also, if anybody knows, how do I tell if it's a load-bearing wall or not? That'd be cool. Because I'm going to tear out a wall. Not a very big wall. It's more like a doorway. But the wall next to it is load-bearing, probably. What else? Let's see. No, I'm not going to hire a plumber. Are you high? Fucking crazy. Header in the openings? Okay. Get a pro to make sure about the wall. Hell no. I'm not hiring anybody to do this. You know how much money that costs? I'm going to do it all myself.
Kaylin getting Shadikin. Why does Cave Astro want to do membership so bad? Does he know something I don't know?
I don't know. I think people want to use the emojis. If we throw them up there, they'd probably like it.
Okay, fine. How much should we charge, Cave? $75?
That's crazy.
$100.
That's crazy.
$100. There should be an emoji with me pouring milk on myself into my mouth from a 2-story building.
Yes. Yes, please.
Who wants to do that? Make a video of me standing underneath a 2-story building and you pour a gallon of milk into my mouth.
What is that show? Was that movie Dirty Dancers? Where they she goes and pulls the chain and it dumps water on her. Can we do that with you, but with milk instead?
Yes.
All right, cool.
I am not lactose intolerant. And one of my friends invited me over to their house for Christmas.
Why?
For dinner.
That's weird. You know where I'm going for Christmas?
Where?
Disney World.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Down to Florida?
Yep.
What,
Leave
just you and your
tomorrow.
wife?
No.
Who?
Both sides.
Oh, are they paying?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. That is awesome. God, I love that shit. Hey, well, you need a flask, dude.
Yeah. We're going to Epcot. We're going to
Dude,
Epcot.
you need a flask. Oh, that's awesome, dude. God.
Yeah, I'm excited.
How fun. I love it when fucking family members take you to just fucking places like that and you don't have to pay. Then you're just totally chill.
Yeah.
If you paid, you'd be like, what the fuck am I doing with my money?
Yeah. No, I'm
But
stoked.
when they're paying, you're just like, yeah, you just can help people move their luggage and be all smiley and shit. And
yeah. I'll carry your baby seat, no problem.
yeah, I love that shit. Oh, shit. All right. I'm late to tennis. Memberships. So how much for the memberships did we decide? What they must be riches. What's the membership? How much? What do I charge? Someone tell Sousa $10. Is that what I charge? And what does that get people? They can do something?
Use emojis and shit that we post on there, I guess.
Do I have to
don't know.
read their shit then?
I think it highlights their comments.
Are people going to get upset if they have a monthly subscription, but I don't read their shit?
Probably. They get upset already.
$69.99. $69.69. Yeah.
Nice. Okay. That's good.
God, you'd suffocate under Sleeky in the 69. You'd have to be on top.
That's real? I think that's real.
It kind of is real. That's not hers, but she has one like it.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right. See you guys. Oh, Shut Up and Scribble is today at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, I believe. Show is just murdering. They just got their second sponsor. People love that shit. The numbers are off the hook. Congrats to what are their names? Mr. Howell and Mr. Self. Oh, here we go. I pay for Hiller has a membership too. He doesn't even go live. I pay for Hillers and Pedros. I don't expect them to read anything. I just like supporting. All right. Brandon Waddell. What's up, buddy? Good to see you.
Oh, a long time.
We don't have a guest tomorrow. We were supposed to have Dylan, Ariel Lowen's husband. So, are you around tomorrow?
Probably not. I got to pack and we're flying out in the mid-morning.
I don't know if I just want to be on here by myself tomorrow. If you want to be on the show, send me a DM. Just kidding. Do not do that. Do not do that. Do not send me DMs. Did you see what happened? Someone tried to someone left a comment on my Instagram account or something. Or no, someone tried to tag me in something and they got a notice like, hey, this guy's not cool.
He just created his account. You can't DM him.
Brandon, I have a treatment tomorrow. I can be the guest while I sit there getting poked and prodded. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. What time is that? Text me, would you? That might be good for some tears.
Cool. Oh, Whitney Davis is in there too.
Jake Chapman, what do you call a man with no limbs and a pile of leaves? Russell. Bye-bye.